All right, leg day. You all know, 2 days ago, leg day. You know, actually, everyone do me a favor, just stand up for a second. Let's just move around a little bit, because I need to do the same thing. I was sitting there listening to the presentations. All right, move around, move around. Come on, you all in the fitness industry. You do some stretch, move. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for that introduction, Nicole. Yeah, you can sit. No, actually, stand up the whole time. I want you to stand joking. Thank you, Nicole. She said, my name is Coley Speaks, and I'm the founder of SS3D Fit Club. And the title of today's presentation is Started from the Bottom, Now We're Here, by Drake. You familiar? Started from the bottom. Okay, it's a change into a different presentation. I'm not even going to go there. But I'll tell you, I'm really, really excited to be standing here before you all. You'll see why in a minute, but this is great. Now, I only have 15 minutes, so I'm going to jump right into it. But within these 15 minutes, I want to accomplish three things. One, share a little bit about me so you know where I come from and a little bit about who I am. Secondly, I want to tell you where I was before MPE. And lastly, where I am now since MPE. So let's jump into it. So I'm originally from Booker T. Washington Projects in Jersey City, New Jersey. And this is, who else from Jersey? Oh, okay, nobody. Oh, all right. Booker T. Washington Projects is one of the greatest places in the world. I mean, the people there, amazing hearts, amazing spirits, just pure light, pure light. Getting a little choked up talking about them. But my family and my community has always been my inspiration and my motivation. If you can see in the top left corner, that's my family at a big reunion. The bottom of that is my dad and I, and that is, I'm telling you, that's my rock right there. He's been my best friend from day one, and everything that I do is to make him proud. He's invested a lot and gave up a lot. The next picture at the top, you see me running with the kids, and that's a picture from an event that I did. I was able actually to go back home and provide a kids' fun day, which was a day where all the kids were able to just come to the community right in the court, in the middle of the court. And the court is where everything went down. Everyone, if there was a fight, everyone would go into the court. If there was a tournament, everyone would go into the court. So all the kids came and played basketball, football. We played baseball, had face painting. It was awesome. That was one of the highlights of my journey thus far. But again, I'll get into that. Now, you'll see a picture there of a cartoon character, which is a superhero. Now, my mission has always been to save my family and my community. Reason being because in Booker T. Washington Projects, the primary goal is not to be healthy and be big and be strong. Honestly, if you were big or in shape in the hood, you went to jail. You were in the Bing, if you will. And so it wasn't a common thing. The primary goal was to make it to school and back home safely, make it to work and back home safely. And when it came to food, all right, what are we going to be able to afford to eat to feed the entire family? So how to go into the grocery store and pick out, okay, I want this and I want that because this is healthy and it's going to make me feel. No. What can I afford to feed all of my kids? So I had an opportunity to be exposed to a lot of sports coming up. I played basketball, football, track and field, baseball, swimming. And this allowed me to be able to learn about how to live a healthy lifestyle. And this is what I wanted to teach to my family. My family has been ridden with a lot of obesity-related issues, such as diabetes. I lost an uncle to diabetes. Both of my grandmothers lost limbs to diabetes. My grandmother's going through some stuff now. Mom had open heart surgery for stress-related issues. Another uncle had open heart surgery. I mean, the list goes on. Younger sister diagnosed with diabetes at 15 years old. So my whole goal was to be able to learn as much as I can to change their lives and save them, and not only my family, but my community. So I made it out the hood. I was able to attend Hampton University, and this was the breeding ground, HU. Oh my goodness, anybody familiar with HBCUs? If you are, okay, yes sir. If you are, Hampton University is the real HU. Howard, forget about it, but I love them. So I went to Hampton University. I was a football player there, Hampton Pirates. We were 3-time conference champs. That was an amazing experience there. I also studied marine and environmental science. I'm internationally published for my shark research. My colleagues and I successfully discovered a repellent for sharks. That was a really fun experience, and that picture is me holding a juvenile sandbar shark on the East Coast. It was in the Chesapeake Bay. But I stopped playing football because I took an academic scholarship to be able to do this internship, to do the research, and that was a rough decision, but I needed to make that happen. Now, during that time, I also found my artistry because now I was no longer a student athlete. I had a little bit more time on my hands. So a friend of mine said, hey, you should do a stage play. I said, a stage play? I'm from Jersey, man. I play football. I don't act. What you mean? So I did it. I joined a stage play, and I loved it, and it was amazing. Now, during this time, I still had the passion to play football and be intense. So I would go into the gym, and me and a friend of mine went to the local YMCA, and we would just beast out in the gym. Cleans, snatches, bench press, just everything all crazy. And people would look and notice and always come up to me and ask, well, how do you do this? Or what should I do to work this muscle? What should I do to work that muscle? And I would just help them out and give them as much information as I knew. And my friend said, you know what, man, you're always helping them out. You should just be a personal trainer and make money for what you're doing. I said, what? Charge people to ask them to help them work out and change their life? Man, that's a brilliant idea. Yeah. So I said, all right, I'm going to be a trainer. I went to the local valley, and things went really well in a short period of time. Within the first 3 months, I became one of the top trainers in the region. That afforded me the opportunity to move into the next chapter of my life. I moved out to Hollywood. The Hollywood dream became a reality. They transferred me to one of their top performing gyms in Hollywood, and within the first month, I became one of the top trainers in the nation based on sales and client retention and all of that. It was a really exciting time. So I said, I'm doing something pretty good here. I need to do this on my own. Why am I going to stay in a corporate gym and keep making them money, and then all they wanted to do was just exhaust me of everything that I had? So I stepped out on my own, and in 2009, I started Stand Strong 3D. And Stand Strong 3D, just to give you a brief introduction to what that is, Stand Strong 3D means stand strong in the 3 dimensions of your being, your mind, body, and spirit. And it evolved into SS3D Fit Club, and you'll see why. But then, as you can see in this picture with me and the older woman, that was my first client. Her name is Anna Gordy Gay. This is the wife of Marvin Gaye and the sister to Berry Gordy. And she was 83 at the time, and it was an amazing experience with her. She was more like a surrogate grandmother to me. I learned so much from her during that time while she and I just improved her health and fitness and overall outlook. She's no longer with us today, but I cherish that experience. Then I became a professional actor. I started participating in a lot of different television shows, commercials, and films. And this is a picture of Kathy Bates and I in a show called Harry's Law, if any of you are familiar with it. It was on the air 2 years ago, and it was a pretty big show then, no longer now. So things started going pretty well for me. The company had to take a little bit of time to grow, but once it grew, things were going well. And along this time, I met that beautiful young thing right there. That's my wife, Kirby Speaks. And I found my purpose, which was my family. And I went on a mission to build my empire, the Speaks empire. So as I said, things were going really, really well. And I got big-headed. I'm like, listen, I'm an actor, I'm on TV, people recognize me, they know me a little bit. And I'm a trainer, I'm making a little bit of money. It all went to my head. All the acting gigs stopped. I dropped all my clients because things were going pretty well acting-wise, and it was bad. Things were really bad financially. I only had 3 clients at the time when I was making less than $2,000 a month. I had a family of 4 to take care of, myself, my wife, and my 2 kids. It wasn't happening on $2,000 a month. Confusion set in, frustration, depression, all of that stuff became a norm. I even resorted to trying to get a regular job. I couldn't become a pizza delivery driver. They turned me down. I even tried to become a security guard. I worked 15 hours a day for 3 days a week, and I was making $7 an hour. Never saw my family, nothing. It was pretty rough time for me. But I did what I had to do. I tried to pick up the business again because I got fired as a security guard. They said, you know what, we have to let you go. Why? I don't know. Another story. It It didn't work to pick up my business again because I didn't have the structure, I didn't have the systems, I didn't have organization, nor the community. I felt like a man on an island alone. I was a failure as a husband. I was a failure as a father because I was no longer present for my kids. I literally would come home and my wife would look at me and I could feel her spirit just sink and try to go into the other room because she felt the depression on me. My kids, they didn't get a full father. In February 11, 2015, my wife had enough and she took my kids to Alabama while I was still in California. That's when I found MPE. I was determined to win my family back. The end of February, I attended a workshop and I joined Accelerator thanks to Tom Jacobs and his beautiful head. I joined Accelerator and I enjoyed what was being told to me, the systems, everything that I needed was being provided at Accelerator, and I couldn't afford it at the time. My rent was due the next month, and if I would have joined Accelerator, I wouldn't be able to pay the rent. But I said, you know what, fuck, oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I said, forget it, I'm gonna do it. And I did it, I joined, I couldn't pay the rent the next month, but I talked to my landlord, we worked it out. 2 weeks later, I had my best month ever. I sold $24,000 in 2 weeks. That's pretty big, $24,000 in 2 weeks. Reason why, because I implemented the raising the rates, I changed my pricing structure, our auto closer was amazing. The next month, I attended spring training, and this is where I found my community. I was able to connect with a lot of other fitness business owners that was where I was and even farther, so I was no longer a man by himself. And then I met the man himself, Sean Greeley, and he talked to me about the VIP program. And I listened, I said, yeah, that sounds good, but no, because I can't afford that. That's too much, way too much, especially right now. But within that same month, I sold another $9,000 in personal training sessions. I had a lot of back stuff to pay, so it was still rough to invest in that, but I did it. Once I did that, things started to roll even more. I got with my coach, Eric. He started talking to me through a lot of different things, coaching me through systems. I implemented it immediately. I built my team. I rebranded my company. Have two amazing coaches, Jarrell Pippins. He's an ex-NFL player. Mia Shante, she was an ex-client who decided to continue on with her fitness journey, and now she's an international champion in pole fitness, as well as a figure competitor, a champion there. That next month, I sold another, $10,000 in personal training. In June 2015, I attended VIP University. This changed my perspective tremendously because at VIPU, we took specific looks into the numbers of where my business was. I saw where I was lacking and I saw where I was strong. So I really picked up where I was weak, worked on that, immediately implemented those systems, but the vision became clear. I knew that in order to get to where I wanted to go, in order to be the successful business owner I wanted to be, I needed my own facility. Set that vision, and I took off with it. In July 2015, I worked on building myself as a person because I had a lot to work on, and I built my business. In order to build the business the way I wanted to build it, I needed to be the man I needed to be. August 2015, I was on the road to becoming a stage 4 business, which means that I had I gained 30 clients, and I started making a little bit less than $6,000 a month. Can I get a hand clap for that, please? That was pretty awesome. I started at a stage zero business, making less than $2,000. In August, making about $6,000 a month. Not a huge amount, but significantly different than where I started. And on September 1st, 2015, 3 months ahead of my goal, I got my own gym, y'all. Got my own gym. Right now, the build-out is happening. And I'm extremely excited. So this is where I am now. I'm a successful business owner, and I am a consistently working actor. Got quite a few things coming up, and there's quite a few things running right now. And I hugely credit MPE for that, simply because had it not been for the confidence I gained as becoming a successful business owner, having the financial freedom and flexibility to be able to pursue another passion of mine, and having the confidence of just being a man on a journey to accomplishing and taking over the world, I was able to be all that I wanted to be on the other side of my life. But beyond all of that stuff I can throw away. The most important thing is I've been able to create and build a legacy for my children. It's a little too late for my wife. We're going through a divorce right now. She filed and all. But the most important thing are these two right here. They have something to look forward to. We all have our journeys in life. We all have obstacles to overcome, which is fear. And that can do two things. One, it can stop you from reaching your goal, or it can drive you. An obstacle can either crush you or it can make you stronger. But you decide what that's going to be. I made my choice. I wanted to be better. Thank you for listening to my story, and I hope this encourages you. Go crush it.